Semi-trucks are very useful in a SnowRunner. You need a good semi-truck for pulling a trailer with a special cargo, and they are very useful when you want to deliver tons of cargo. But what are the best semi-trucks in this game? At number 10, we have the Western Star 47X NF1424. This truck is great for trailers that require saddle low. It has good maneuverability and a very powerful engine. And it's a very fast truck, but to be honest, I don't know being fast in a SnowRunner is a good thing or a bad thing, because controlling a fast truck in a SnowRunner is very difficult. The performance of this truck is alright, it's not the best and it's not the worst either. In deep mud it doesn't perform that great, but for going up a hill or mountain it's a good choice. It has enough power to pull a trailer, and it's not that fuel thirsty and has extra fuel on the roof rack. Overall, this truck is better for bigger regions that are not that difficult. One thing that I don't like about this truck is you don't have a crane on this truck. Although to my knowledge in the next patch they are going to add a crane for this truck, so that would be very good. At number 9 we have KRS Bandit. This truck is very good for delivering tons of cargo as a semi-truck. The crane of this truck makes it very easy to put cargo on any type of semi-trailer, and the truck is capable enough of pulling trailers. Now, I wouldn't call it the best semi-truck. It kinda struggles a bit in mud or going up a hill, but it would get the job done. The best thing about this truck is the crane. The crane works very well with semi-trailers, but the truck has some downsides too. The turning radius of the truck is not that good. The fuel tank is very small. Even though the truck has extra fuel on the roof rack, there is a chance of running out of fuel with this truck. But overall, for delivering cargo with a semi-trailer, this truck is a good choice. At number 8, we have Navistar 500 MV. You know, the performance of this truck is absolutely amazing. It performs so good in mud for a truck that doesn't even have diff lock, but the lack of diff lock sometimes could cause a problem. Now, one of the good things about this truck is you can use it for both semi-trailers that require saddle low or saddle high. This truck is very capable, like surprisingly capable, but it has some disadvantages too. It's a bit fuel thirsty and doesn't have a very big fuel tank. You cannot have the crane and saddle high or saddle low at the same time. The turning radius of this truck is not that good, and because it doesn't have diff lock, sometimes it starts to dig down and make a hole for the truck so it would get stuck. I think not having a good turning radius and being a bit too fuel thirsty are the two things that really stop in this truck. Otherwise, if you want to use a very capable truck for pulling semi-trailers, this is the truck that you need. At number 7, we have Voron Grad. You know, using Voron Grad as a semi-truck is like a very safe choice. It doesn't have anything to stand out. It's not like the most capable truck or the most fuel efficient or the most powerful truck, but it doesn't have any disadvantages as a semi-truck. You know, it does everything at a very good level. It's capable enough to go through some deep mud. It is capable enough of pulling heavy trailers. It has a crane that you can use with your semi-trailer. It has switchable all-wheel drive that allows you to save more fuel. It has good turning radius. It's fast. It has good stability. It has everything to be a good semi-truck. Now, maybe Voron Grad is not a 10 out of 10 truck, but it's definitely a solid choice. Number 6, Dairy Special. If you want to deliver cargo with a semi-trailer that requires saddle high, then this truck is one of the best trucks to use. You can have crane and saddle high on your truck at the same time. This truck has active suspension that you can use to give your semi-trailer more ground clearance. It has a powerful engine and it's a very capable truck. And unlike so many heavy trucks that we have, this truck has access to chain tires. And on top of that, it has a very big fuel tank with extra fuel on the roof rack. so you're not gonna run out of fuel. This truck is very good for people who wanna deliver cargo with those heavy trailers. The only thing that I don't really like about this truck is the turning radius. It doesn't have the best turning radius in the game, but overall it's a very good choice. At number 5 we have Colab 74760. You know, when it comes to pulling a heavy trailer, this is the truck that you should go for. This truck pulls heavy trailers like they are nothing. Even when you're going up a hill, it goes up at a very consistent speed. You know, Colab is truly a beast when it comes to pulling a very heavy trailer. And it performs good in deep mud too. Overall, this is one of the best trucks to use for pulling those special trailers that you find around the map. The only downside of Colab is you basically don't have access to anything other than the saddle high. Like no crane, no anything else. So in my opinion, this is a very good truck for pulling those special heavy trailers, but for delivering cargo, it might not be the best. At number 4, we have Mack Defense. Very amazing truck, and it's such a great choice for using as a semi-truck. It does a good job pulling trailers. Doesn't matter you're going up a hill or a mountain, it will pull that trailer. But it's better to use semi-trailers that require saddle low. Now another thing is you can have the crane and the saddle low or saddle high at the same time on this truck, and this truck has active suspension too for more ground clearance. On top of that, you have access to a big fuel tank and extra fuel on the roof rack, but keep it in mind that this truck could be a bit fuel thirsty. Now in terms of the performance of this truck in mud, it's not that bad, it's good, but it's not a good choice when it comes to very deep mud. Overall, this is a very good truck that allows you to deliver tons of cargo in a short period amount of time. It's fast, it has a big fuel tank and extra fuel on the roof rack. You can have the crane plus the saddle low, and it has good maneuverability and a powerful engine. Now let's get to the honorable mentions before we get to top 3. The first one is Pacific P16, one of the OG trucks in a SnowRunner. To keep it short, Pacific P16 doesn't have that many problems. It's just the problem with Pacific P16 is we have other trucks that do the exact same thing as Pacific P16 but way better. So you can still use Pacific P16 if you want, but we have better options. The next one is Derry Longhorn 4520. Now, this is actually one of the trucks that I do like to use. But the biggest problem with this truck is the weak engine. In regions that you don't need to go up and down hills and mountains, it's an alright choice. It has great maneuverability and a big fuel tank, but when it comes to going up a hill, it doesn't perform that great. And the last one is Boar. Boar is like a monstrosity of a truck. It's so amazing at pulling heavy trailers, and it has great maneuverability and it's very capable. The biggest problem with this truck is the fuel tank. It's very fuel thirsty, but the fuel tank is just not big enough for it. So when you're pulling those heavy trailers, there is a high chance that you run out of fuel before you get to your destination. Alright, before we get to top 3, I wanna say something. Look at the top 3 trucks on this list, kinda as all of them as the number 1 truck. They are all good at different things, so it was really difficult ranking them, so kinda think about it that they are all number 1. With that said, at number 3 we have Zik 605R. Zik 605R is a beast of a truck. It's extremely capable, doesn't matter how deep the mud or snow is, it would easily go through it. And doesn't matter how heavy the trailer that you're pulling is, it's no problem for Zik 605R. It would pull that trailer to any location that you want. This is like the best truck that we have in a SnowRunner for pulling those special heavy trailers that we have. It performs good in really harsh terrain. It has a big fuel tank and it's not that fuel thirsty, and you have extra fuel on the roof rack. Plus when you're using the saddle high, you can have even more fuel in that service kit. So it doesn't matter how long it takes to get that trailer to the destination, this truck is not going to run out of fuel, and it has a good turning radius too. This truck is just amazing. At number 2 we have Tega 6436. If you want to use a semi-truck to deliver cargo, this is the truck that you should use. It's a very capable and a stable truck. It has great turning radius. You can have the crane on the truck with the saddle low. It's fast and it's not even that big, so using a truck that is not that big with a semi-trailer is very good. You know, Tega 6436 makes using a semi-trailer easier. It's just very easy to go around tight corners or back up the semi-trailer with this truck. The only thing that is not great about this truck is it could be a bit fuel thirsty, so you have to pay attention to your fuel. Now there is something else too. Sometimes when you're in low plus, this truck cannot start moving that easily. It kind of feels a bit underpowered. The best thing you can do is just put it in low and start going, and then put it in low plus again. You would easily start moving without any problem. And at number 1 we have Zig 612H. You wanna pull a massive trailer, Zig 612H is a solid choice. You wanna deliver cargo, this truck is a solid choice. Whatever you expect from a semi-truck, Zig 612H has that. You want a powerful engine that pulls anything up a hill very easily, it has that. You need a truck that is very capable in deep mud, Zig 612H is extremely capable. You want a crane on your truck, it has a crane for you. You need chain tires, it has chain tires. You need a massive fuel tank with extra fuel, it has both of those. And even though it's a big truck, it has a good turning radius too. Maybe the only downside is when you wanna pull a trailer that requires saddle high, this truck is not going to give that trailer as much ground clearance as something like Pacific P16, but other than that, it's just perfect. And it's great for both trailers that require saddle low or saddle high. And that's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.